What is the best free AI English pronunciation tool? I tested all of them. And in this video, we're going to look at the top 2 and see if we can figure out which one is the best. The 2 tools we're going to look at are the Google pronunciation tool and Elsa Speak. Not all of Elsa Speak, just the free pronunciation tools. Now, I eliminated other platforms and tools either because I didn't think they were as good as these 2 or because they didn't actually have something that you can use for free forever. So tools like Bold Voice, they just have a trial. Well, if it's a free trial, it's, in my opinion, not really free because then I can't use it for free forever, right? So that's why we're looking at these 2. Let's start with Google, a very simple tool, frustrating in some ways, but also really good in some ways. This was developed with a really good English teacher. I believe her name is Hadar. She developed it with Google. So let's search how to pronounce. This is what you search, and then the word you want to learn to pronounce. And as far as I know, this is the only way to get this tool. Wouldn't it be cool, Google, if you could just put in a sentence, right, and practice into a standalone tool or app? Google, always messing things up at the last minute. Okay, so let me zoom out just a little bit here. Now, it has the phonetic spelling, which I like better, right? So it shows the phonetic spelling. It's easy to read. It has the stressed syllable in bold, and it's broken down into syllables, which I also like. You can then listen to it. And the key thing is you can then practice it and get feedback. That's the key thing. That's what we're looking at here. AI feedback on our pronunciation. So let's listen.
Squirrel.
So,
Squirrel.
Squirrel. All right. Now I'm going to say it wrong just so that we can see the kind of feedback that we get. So I click on practice. It's going to bring up probably my microphone and then we can try it out. Squirrel. So it's highlighted here, the part that I said wrong. I said instead of All right? So let's try again. This is actually, that's very accurate feedback. And we get this how to improve thing here. Think of this as a long R sound. Make sure the tip of your tongue isn't touching anything. That's actually excellent feedback. And then it's giving me some words that I can listen to.
Curtain. Cotton.
Right, that have a kind of similar sound, even though they're different letters. So that's actually really good feedback, and that's actually really good advice for how to say this. Now, I'm not so sure that this actually helps that much, the little video.
Squirrel.
I don't know. American pronunciation and British pronunciation. Let's stick with American. Let's try again. I'll do it wrong one more time. Squirra. Okay, so this time I said the sound correctly, but the at the end is wrong. It should be O. How can I improve? Make sure the tip of your tongue is behind your teeth. Keep your tongue a little tense as you let the air. Wow, that is a really good description. I really like that. So let's see what it looks like if I do it correctly. Squirrel. Hey, good job. All right. So look, this is such a simple tool, and it drives me crazy because it's so good. But there are two things that frustrate me. Number one is I can only do one word at a time. I can't put a whole sentence in here, right? Like if I say how to pronounce squirrel baby, I won't even search it. I've tried it. It doesn't bring up the whole thing. It just brings up one word at a time. The other thing is it's not a standalone tool. If it were a standalone tool and it had richer features, right? Maybe even some lessons or something, that's asking too much. This would be, in my opinion, by far the best, right? Because the feedback is so good. And it's actually, in my experience, so accurate. So if you want to work on specific word pronunciation, I think this is a fantastic option. But let's take a look at Elsa Speak. Now, just like Google, Elsa Speak has a how to pronounce tool. You put in one word, no more. You try to learn the pronunciation, you repeat it, and you get back an analysis. You get back AI feedback to help you say it better. This is not the only thing we're going to look at. We'll look at the app too. But let's compare just this simple this simple one-word pronunciation tool. Okay, so I searched the word choir. I've got a definition. So I actually prefer the phonetic spelling that Google uses rather than this. If you don't know the symbols, then this is not helpful. So you have to learn something first, and then it's helpful. Whereas with the simple phonetic spelling that Google uses, you don't need to know anything first. It kind of spells out how it sounds. So I prefer that. But anyway, okay. Tap to listen. Here we go.
Choir.
Okay, choir, choir,
Choir.
choir. Let's hear how you pronounce choir. I'm going to say it wrong, of course. Core. Okay, so it's bringing up a pop-up to download the app. If I close that, it said good job in the pop-up, but here it's saying 19% very bad. Okay, click on the word to see detailed feedback. Okay, so the K sound is correct, but the other sounds are very incorrect. Let's see if this is useful. Start with your lips tightly rounded into a small circle and then move them apart to shift to the next vowel. Okay, all right, that's fine. Okay, so let's try again here. Choir. Okay, once again, I get the pop-up trying to get me to download. 72%. Okay, click on this. What's wrong? This is a K sound. Raise the back of your tongue up against the roof of your mouth. So in terms of the actual analysis of my pronunciation, this is quite accurate. The descriptions are good. The instructions are good. I think it works probably as well as Google's tool. So maybe it really comes down to which one you prefer from a user interface standpoint. Personally, I like the very simple spelling that Google uses, and I don't necessarily like that every time I do this, I get a pop-up. All right, Google's not trying to sell me anything. It's just a useful tool. They're trying to keep me in Google. That's what their goal is. Whereas Elsa Speak, they're trying to sell me the app. They're trying to get me to download the app. So, it just depends on whether or not you're willing to deal with a pop-up every time you check a word. This tool is very cool. It is what's called a lead magnet, a thing that's free that is there not because Elsa Speak, they're kind and generous people, but because they want you to do something. They want you to download an app, right? They're trying to sell something, and that's fair, right? If you want to get something for free, sometimes you have to deal with things like pop-ups. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, and I think the accuracy of the feedback is good. But that's not all they have. So this is where Elsa Speak gets interesting. Before we look at the app, let's check out two other things. Here, we have more than just one word at a time, which is what Google offers. Here, we're able to practice whole sentences. So let's try this out. Knowing a second language significantly increases opportunity for a variety of jobs. All right, that looks like pretty good feedback here. Let's see. Do we click on the individual word? Yeah, okay. So it's basically doing what it does for individual words and then giving me feedback for the whole thing. I don't know if it's giving me feedback for how the whole thing flows together, which is kind of what I was hoping for. Okay, make sure you use the front of your tongue. I think that's pretty accurate. So it looks good. Up for something more challenging? In the next step, you'll have a short chat with Elsa Coach using the words and phrases provided. What?
Tell me about your education background.
I got a bachelor's degree in computer science. Kind of the same basic idea, just a different format. Let's see, let me click on that. It's pretty small. All right, next.
Where did you go to college?
I graduated from Stanford University last year. That should be bad. That should be really bad. I should get a low score on that one. most of the vowels were wrong. Yeah, okay. All right. Has anyone ever been as excited as me to do something badly? Yes, 31. Yes. I did it. I got a 31.
That's
right.
wonderful. My sister went there too.
This is cool. This is pretty cool. Now, in the app itself, I find it a bit confusing because there's just so much stuff. There are things that you can pay for, like courses. They have an Elsa AI thing and a coach. I'm not even sure what all of this stuff does or is. I've tested some of it in the past. But the thing that I think is probably most useful, the actual evaluation, I did a review about this a long time ago. The actual evaluation to see your level is, in my opinion, quite good. I'm not going to go through the whole thing here, but find your level now. This allows you to practice whole sentences, and you do quite a few, and it gives you, in my opinion, a fairly accurate score to tell you where are you right now. Not necessarily every aspect of your English, but especially for pronunciation and your overall fluency. This summer, I will visit a new country with two of my best friends. Okay, and then you kind of go through here. I've done a review on that before. You kind of go through and eventually you get a breakdown and a score. And of course, there's stuff to sign up for, but I have to give Elsa Speak credit for not only doing a 2-week trial, for example. I have a bit of a pet peeve about that. I think it's a good idea to offer something for free. And then eventually, if people really value that free thing over time, they may sign up for some more premium thing that you have to pay for. I think that's a good model personally, and I don't really count it as free if it's just a free trial, because again, that's for a specific period of time. So I'm going to quit this. That's a pretty good evaluation. You get detailed feedback, and you can do some of the stuff that you can also do in the browser on your computer in the app. A lot of that stuff is the same. So who wins between the Google pronunciation tool? Let me move myself over. Between the Google pronunciation tool and Elsa Speak, who is the winner? Well, I think if you want a simple, very simple experience with no distractions, accuracy, easy to understand explanations, right? And you just want to check how to say one word, Google is the winner. Right? It's just the best experience. It's the easiest to get to. You don't have to deal with pop-ups. It's just nice. But if you want something beyond that, if you want to practice whole sentences, or you want to get a level evaluation, then obviously Elsa Speak is the way to go. You just have to deal with the pop-ups. Maybe the user experience isn't quite as good, in my opinion. I like the simplicity of Google. This is my real opinion. If Google decided to expand that tool into a full app out of the kindness of their hearts, they have no reason to do it, right? If they decided to do that, so that you could look up whole sentences, get accurate feedback on whole sentences, maybe even get a score, right, to see how well you're doing over time, a detailed breakdown, right, and maybe some deeper coaching. I don't know. If they expanded it and made it a standalone app, it would be, in my opinion, the best by far. It's just the fact that it's limited to one word at a time that makes me say sometimes Elsa Speak is best, right? Especially when you want to get that level evaluation. So, Google, why? Why does Google always do this? They have the best AI models. They have the best technology. And then at the last step, the step of the tool, the app, the voice assistant, the whatever, Always the last step. They say, let's make sure we don't do it that well. It could be great, but let's make sure it isn't that great. And let's not tell anybody about it. Let's make it so that you have to search how to pronounce, and that's the only way to bring it up. Let's do that. Genius, right? So it's a bit frustrating, but still, no one else is really doing it that much better. So I think there's a big opportunity here. Some company, somebody needs to come along and build a better AI pronunciation feedback tool. Somebody has to do it. I don't know how to do it. If I did, I would do it. Anyway, let me know which one you think is best, which one you would prefer to use. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Get a free course in the links in the description and check out the 90-day program. In my opinion, this is the best way to improve your English in 90 days. And it is an incredible deal. Great value. Check that out, the 90-day program. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.